Driving license?
Yes, I need your driver's license.
Okay, can I go park?
No, you're parked.
Okay. So then can I go to my door?
No, I need your driver's license.
Can I go park?
You are parked. You've been parked here for an hour.
Okay.
Do you have your driver's license?
Yes, I do.
Okay, can I have it, please?
All right then.
Can I have your driver's license?
Oh my gosh.
The door's gonna stay open. I need your driver's license.
Here you go.
I don't need a mint. I need your driver's license.
Welcome back, Warriors. It's me, Linda B. Thank you all so much for joining me here today. What in the world is going on with people in law enforcement? We've been seeing this for a long time now, for some years, that when a police officer, now I'm not negating the fact that there are some police officers that should face consequences of the law. I get it. But in this particular instance, this woman just did not want to do what the police officer was requesting, which was something very simple. You guys, be respectful and do what the officer says. But before we get into this, don't forget to smash like, comment, share, subscribe, hit all notifications so that you never, ever miss the video that I post. Now let's get into it. We're going to pause for a moment to hear about how you can better secure your retirement savings with Augusta precious metals. Gold has historically maintained value in times of inflation and market uncertainty. During certain economic shifts, some investors have considered gold as part of their retirement strategy. A gold IRA allows people to hold physical gold in their retirement accounts, which is something more retirees are exploring. With Augusta Precious Metals, it is an A+ rated company with the Better Business Bureau. Learn about how thousands of Americans are securing their retirement savings with Augusta Precious Metals. Want to learn more? There's a free guide linked below that explains everything you need to know about gold IRAs. Check out the free resource in the description. It breaks this down step by step. Be on your way to a more secure retirement with Augusta Precious Metals.
Do you have an ID?
Can I go?
Do you have your driver's license?
Huh?
Do you have your driver's license?
Yes, I do.
Okay, where is it?
Can I go?
No, I need your driver's license.
Do you have my driving license?
Yes, I need your driver's license.
Okay, can I go park?
No, you're parked.
Okay. So then can I go to my door?
No, I need your driver's license.
Can I go park?
You are parked. You've been parked here for an hour.
Okay.
Do you have your driver's license?
Yes, I do.
Okay, can I have it, please?
All right then.
Can I have your driver's license?
Oh my gosh.
The door's gonna stay open. I need your driver's license.
Here you go.
I don't need a mint. I need your driver's license.
Are you serious?
What do you mean, am I serious?
I'm serious.
Why are you trying to hand me a mint? What's your first name?
Galilea Miguel.
Your what?
Here. Galilea Miguel. Galilea Miguel Morales.
Morales is your last name?
Yes.
And what's your first name?
Miguel Morales.
Your name is not Miguel.
So what is it?
I'm asking you what your first name is.
Miguel Morales.
Your first name is Miguel.
Yeah.
I'm going to get my 2 cents, Warriors, and you tell me what you believe is happening here. This woman is here probably more than likely, I said more than likely here illegally. She cannot produce a driver's license. She's already parked. Why in the heck is she saying, can I park? You're already parked, dear. You're already parked. And then she says her name is Galilea Miguel Morales, right? Then she cuts off the Galilea part and says Miguel Morales. So what is going on here? She never produced a driver's license. Why was it so hard to produce a driver's license? Is it because she's here illegally? Now, this is just one example of people trying to play smart with the police. There are so many other instances of people just not abiding by police orders. I'm thinking there was a language barrier right there. So when he asked her first name, she kept saying the middle name and last name, but not the first name. So definitely there was a language barrier there. We are trying to get back to a new age of law and order. I mean, you're not going to be able to just do what you want to do, go into stores, do these flash mob robberies, and be as long as you're under like about $1,000, you just catch and release. No, we're not doing that. We're not playing these games. We're catching people at the border. We have record low numbers of illegal crossings at the border. It's FAFO. This is a new sheriff in town. This is a new day and age. We're not putting up with it anymore. But let's hear from our FBI director, Kash Patel.
General Bondi, we're here today because of your dedicated leadership to safeguard American lives. Because you have the courage to follow President Trump's courage to put our children first and to make sure that the narco traffickers, and make no mistake, this administration has labeled them foreign terrorist organizations because that's what they are. There is no lethal force on planet Earth that is responsible for an overdose death of an American citizen every 7 minutes, more so than these federal terrorist organizations, foreign terrorist organizations. We are humbled to be a part of this Department of Justice, and we are going to continue to safeguard our streets. This is what it looks like when the United States whole of government approach brings every resource to bear, from the Department of Defense and the United States Coast Guard, from HSI, from FBI, from DEA, and so many others. They are going to get all the drugs off the streets, off the markets, and as Attorney General Bondi said, we are going to lock them up. They are no longer going to be free to roam. We are going to dismantle the next man up theory that has been breeding in these Mexican cartels for generations. No more. We are here today because of your brave work. The men and women of the FBI that I lead, I'm humbled and honored to be here in South Florida, where I spent so much of my career before I moved to Washington, D.C. And looking around, I'm awe-inspired by the fact that when you take the rules and regulations that blockaded these brave men and women of law enforcement and military, and you unshackle them, then you should look at this seizure, and you should see how much it multiplies, and see how many children and how many young adults and how many adults' lives that we have just saved. They did it. We're fortunate to be their leaders. We're humbled to be here. And you will see this happen across the country, because this is not a one-off for General Bondi. She has made this a mission priority, and the FBI will follow in every corner of this country and every square centimeter of this planet to eradicate the foreign terrorist organization that are killing American citizens. They will be held accountable. We will take preventive measures, and we will scour the ends of the earth to find every single one of them.
You know what I was just thinking while FBI Director Kash Patel was talking, that we've spent a lot of time talking about abortion. We've spent a lot of time talking about black on black crime, the crime rates. We've talked about illegals, but we haven't specifically talked about, it is through illegals that these drugs are crossing the border, but we haven't spent a whole lot of time, I don't think anyway, let me just say, in my opinion, we have to some degree, but maybe I just have it on my channel. Let me just say that. I haven't spent enough time talking about drugs and how they negatively impact and cause the loss of life, death. It's not just abortion. It's not just through, a violent crime or like shootings and stabbings. It's not just that. It's through drugs. And I haven't spent enough time talking about that. And see, to me, this is just another way that the left, and the left can actually include some Republicans, let me just be clear, because we've got some rhinos. We got issues with Liz Cheney and Lindsey Graham and some more folks. But let me be clear that the left's agenda was to destroy life, to hinder life, And if life should come about, to let that life be unalived, in the case of a child that survived abortion in particular, or also to cause loss of life through this open immigration. Over the past 4 years under the Jim Crow Joe and Kamala Harris administration, the borders were wide open. This app, the CBP app, was given out and people were allowed to just come in. I've seen footage of ICE workers at the border just opening the border rather, and letting people in. That is why we had so much crime. So you can get crime through a lot of different ways, but some of it is through substances. And these things are poured into minority communities to keep people like literally not even functional, and they are self-destructive. Okay. So it just hurts my heart to know that there are people who don't really realize how drugs even got into our country in the first place. Mexico, by way of China. I mean, so many things have been coming into our country to destroy it. We were on this bad path. You've got lawlessness and disorder. But now we're trying to go towards law and order. We want law and order. I voted for everything President Trump is doing right now. Yes, the markets seem a little shaky, but they're up at the moment, might be down tomorrow. Who knows? But this is something that was necessary to happen. We need law and order. We need to realize what was the whole point of all of these things conspiring around us. Gangs, the formation of gangs in the early 1970s, right after the civil rights movement, mind you, right after MLK was assassinated. We had these drugs poured in, these gangs came in, went right into the Black community. These perpetrators of good, which are these Black Democrat politicians that have been there for decades, set up as a symbol of Black success. They're just sellouts. They are Sambos. James Clyburn, Maxine Waters, and many others put there to use their skin color, their melanin. And I'm going to borrow a term coined by my fellow podcaster, April Chapman, the melanated Marxist. That's right. That's my shout out to my girl, April Chapman. Check her out. So I just see the Democrat Party as using all of these strategies that they look like they're for us, but they are actually against us. These people are sold out. They make a lot of money. Jasmine Crockett is another one. She is the latest face, the latest Black face, in my opinion, who's been getting paid all this money to keep everything in her district down. I'm telling you, look at these districts that have these Black Democrat politicians over them. They have not improved. Democrats know exactly what they're doing. They're using the melanin or race game to keep Black Democrat politicians who have sold their souls to the devil and sold their people out. That's why things never get better with a Democrat. You can vote for them if you want, but they don't really get better. Remember, everybody Black just about in America, 98% voted for former President Barack Hussein Obama, abomination. And a lot of people did not vote for him the second time because they realized they were duped. I never voted for him, not once. Not once. The Lord showed me who this man is, who he really is, evil. And so I want everybody's eyes to be opened. I want everyone's mind to wake up and just be like, oh, the veil of darkness to just fall off of your eyes, the scales to fall off, so you can actually see what has been going on. And this has been like a little science experiment in a way on Black Americans, because you remember the syphilis thing with Black males, the Planned Parenthood to get Black weeds out of existence under Margaret Sanger, who is a racist and used MLK for her detriment on Black society. Yeah, the civil rights movement was a hoax, coined by rich white liberals in New York and other places. Racist folks. Racist. The racism of low expectation. Yeah, they use Black people to keep other Black people in line. You guys need to read up on MLK. I'm going to get this book I've heard Vince Ellison talk about called And the Walls Came Tumbling Down. I'm going to be reading. I'm in the process of reading Chaos right now. The whole mind control thing, with Charles Manson and all of that craziness. These people were on drugs, LSD to be specific, and they were doing the most heinous things. Mind control is real. Right now, mind control is working through the media, causing us to hate one another. Yeah, causing us to take up for criminals, causing the mind to actually call good evil and evil good. That's what's happening. We're in a spiritual battle. Cannot emphasize that enough. But to the border and everything else that the communists have been doing to our country for decades now, there's going to be a great reset, a great American reset by way of God Almighty himself. Yes, the markets seem unstable. Yes, but jobs are coming back to America. Safety, common sense. We're going to get these evil ideologies out of our schools and give parents back their parental authority. Although we do need to make sure that we don't have parents sold out to the woke mob, the woke mob, the woke mob. But we just got to make sure that parents aren't sold out to the woke mob, because this evil has just gotten into this country, and their plans for our country was so evil and satanic. And President Trump has said a number of times, they're not really after him, they're after us, but he's just standing in the way. Greedy for power, greedy for money. And then I wonder what's really happening with RFK. Has he been compromised? All of a sudden, he says one thing in his books and he says something else recently. They are determined to get what they want. But just realize there's a power greater than all of us who is in control. Thank you all so much for watching this video. Don't forget to smash like, comment, share, subscribe, hit all notifications so that you never, ever miss a video that I post. You all be blessed. Love God, your families, these United States of America, and march on, warriors.